Have you ever felt the sharp pain of betrayal? Have words hurt you more than a blade? Have you been slandered by those you trusted? Or consumed by envy radiating from others? Before the shadow of despair covers your heart, I invite you to be silent for a moment. Listen with me to the prayer of a man who knew the depths of all these bitter wells, David. He was a man hunted and betrayed by friends and family. But instead of drowning, he learned to transform his enemies and adversities. He used them as steps to reach his greatest victory, his peace in God. I understand your pain. I understand the feeling of injustice burning in your soul, and I understand the confusion that human falsehood can generate. It is a lonely and frightening place. But today, we are not here to lament in the shadows. We are here to light a lamp. Psalm 27 is not just an ancient poem. It is a true manual of spiritual warfare. It is a guide of divine architecture to build an unshakable fortress around your heart and mind. The promise I make to you is this: by the end of our journey through these sacred words, you will no longer feel afraid of people. You will feel immensely secure in the arms of God. The psalm begins with a declaration of power that echoes through the centuries. It is a statement that forms the foundation of all our spiritual armor. David does not begin by asking. He begins by declaring with an authority that does not come from himself. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Let's pause for a moment here. What does it mean in practice to have the Lord as your light? It means that in the darkness of confusion, lies, and uncertainty, a beacon shows you the way. God's light reveals hidden traps. It exposes the truth behind appearances. It gives you clear direction to follow, even when everything around seems like a maze. And then, he adds, and my salvation. If light is direction, salvation is absolute protection. It is the impenetrable shield that guards us on the path the light has revealed. Salvation here is not just a future concept. It is a present and active reality. It is deliverance from danger, the preservation of our integrity, and the rescue of our soul from the hands of those who wish us harm. To have God as salvation is to know that no matter the strength of the attack, there is an infinitely greater force fighting for us. This force guarantees our security. It is the Father's embrace that completely covers us. With this dual conviction, firmly rooted in his Spirit, the guiding light and protecting salvation, David asks a question that nullifies all the power of fear. Whom shall I fear? Note that this is not a question seeking an answer. It is a rhetorical question, a declaration of faith that empties the power of adversaries. He is not being arrogant or denying the existence of threats. He acknowledges them, but puts them in their proper perspective. Before the light and salvation that is the Lord, who or what in the universe could compare? This question is an invitation for you to do the same. Now, think about the situation or person that causes you fear, anxiety, or insomnia. Visualize that threat. Feel the weight it places on your shoulders. Now, in an act of faith, place that situation before the sovereign light of God. Imagine this light exposing the real weakness of your problem. Imagine it diminishing its size. Imagine it revealing that the power it holds over you is an illusion. This is true when compared to the real power of the one who guards you. When the Lord is your light, what once seemed like a frightening giant becomes only a passing shadow. This is because you are no longer looking at the size of the problem. Instead, you are looking at the immensity of your protector. David continues to build this fortress with even more powerful images. He says, "Though an army encamp against me, my heart shall not fear. Though war rise against me, yet I will be confident." Imagine the scene, not just one enemy, but an entire organized army. They have their tents and weapons. They surround you on all sides. Human logic would cry out for panic, for surrender, or for despair. But the logic of faith declares, "My heart shall not fear." The decision to trust is not based on the absence of war. It is based on the presence of the sovereign general. This is the essence of spiritual resilience. It is not pretending the battle does not exist. It is deliberately choosing where to place your trust in the midst of it. Your peace cannot depend on the absence of conflict. The world is a place of constant battles. Your peace must be anchored in the certainty of who is with you in the trench. It is a conscious choice to turn your gaze from the size of the enemy army. Instead, fix it on the majesty of your heavenly commander. It is a peace that makes no sense to the world, but it sustains the children of God. And at this point, my friends, David reveals the deepest secret of his courage. Amidst so many wars, persecutions, and the need for justice, what is the one thing he truly asks of God? The answer may surprise you with its simplicity and depth. He does not ask for the death of his enemies. He does not ask for riches or revenge. He says, "One thing I have asked of the Lord, that will I seek after, that I may dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of my life, to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple." This is the key. David's supreme desire was not the solution to the problem. It was the presence of the one who is the solution. To dwell in the house of the Lord does not mean locking yourself in a physical temple. It means cultivating a continuous awareness of God's presence. It means making your relationship with him your true home. It means making it your permanent refuge. When your greatest ambition is God's presence, everything else becomes secondary. Others' envy loses its luster. Betrayal loses its power to destroy. This is because your greatest treasure is kept in a place no one can touch. To gaze upon the beauty of the Lord is to fall in love with who God is. It is spending time meditating on his goodness, his justice, his love, and his power. When you are truly captivated by the Creator's beauty, the ugliness of human attitudes becomes less impactful. It is like standing before a majestic mountain. The small stones on the path simply lose their importance, and to learn in his temple is to seek wisdom and direction in his word. It is allowing him to adjust your perspective and teach you his ways. This desire is the heart of soul armor. Armed with this truth and this renewed perspective, we can now pray. We pray not as helpless victims, but as beloved sons and daughters. We are secure in the Most High's hiding place. We can approach the throne of grace, not with fear, but with the confidence of those who have already received light and salvation. Our prayer transforms. It ceases to be a desperate cry for help. Instead, it becomes a declaration of possessing the protection already promised to us. It is time to build the walls of this spiritual fortress with the words of our own mouths. Now together, in one spirit, let us lift up this prayer of spiritual armor. Wherever you are, I invite you to join me in this declaration of faith. Place your hand over your heart as a prophetic act. Let it be a sign that you are sealing your inner self with God's truth. And let us declare together to the Father, not with the voice of fear, but with the voice of faith that moves mountains and calms storms. This is our prayer to armor the soul. Beloved Father, in the name of Jesus, I approach you. I come not based on my merits, but on your infinite grace and mercy. I declare with David, you are my light and my salvation. Dispel all darkness around me. Dispel all confusion planted by lies. Dispel all mists of deception. May your light show me the safe path. May it reveal hidden intentions, and may it guide me in every step I take. I place myself under your protection and your salvation. No harm shall come to me. No plague shall approach my tent. I ask that, in the day of evil, in the day of adversity, you hide me in your pavilion. May your love be my secret hiding place. a place where accusation does not reach me, a place where envy does not contaminate me, and a place where betrayal cannot hurt me. Hide me in the tent of your presence. Keep me far from conspiring tongues and judging gazes. Set me high upon a rock. Place me above circumstances, confusion, and chaos. Let me see the battle from your perspective, secure and firm in you. Lord, teach me your way. I do not want to follow the impulses of my flesh. I do not want the desire for revenge or the path of bitterness. I want to walk in your straight and level path. Guide me because of those who lie in wait for me. Let me not stumble, and let me not give them reason to blaspheme your name. Give me wisdom to respond with grace. Give me strength to forgive, and give me discernment to identify false friends and wolves in sheep's clothing. Do not hand me over, O Father, to the will of my adversaries. Rise up, Lord, against the false witnesses who rise against me. Rise up against those who breathe violence. Silence the mouth of the liar. Frustrate the plans of the envious. I surrender to you all the injustice I have suffered. I release my right to revenge. I place my cause in your hands, for you are the righteous judge. I trust that the justice which comes from you is perfect and complete. I choose to rest, knowing that you are my defender. And now, with a heart at peace, I declare by faith what David declared. I believe that I shall look upon the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. I do not need to wait for eternity to see your favor. I believe that I will see your justice, your provision, your honor, and your peace manifesting. They will appear here and now, in my life, in my story. The wickedness of people will not have the final say over my destiny. Your goodness, yes, it will follow me all the days of my life. My heart is guarded in God. After this powerful prayer and this confident surrender, David leaves us with the golden key to perseverance. It is the secret to standing firm while God's justice is on its way. He offers us advice that may seem passive at first glance, but it is in fact the most courageous act we can practice. He concludes his psalm with the supreme instruction: wait for the Lord, be strong, and let your heart take courage. Wait for the Lord. The word wait in our language often suggests inactivity. It suggests resigned passivity. But in the original Hebrew, the word used here is kava. It relates to twisting or intertwining, as when making a strong rope. It is an active, expectant waiting. It is the act of gathering the threads of your hope, faith, and trust. You twist them together to create something strong and unbreakable. It is not sitting and waiting. It is strengthening yourself while you wait. Be strong, he says. This literally means take courage. Waiting on God is not for the faint of heart. It is for the courageous. It is an act of defiance against despair. It is looking at the storm and saying, "My God is greater." It is feeling fear and still choosing faith. It is a command to your own soul to rise up. It is a command to refuse to be overcome by circumstances. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is action despite fear. And the promise contained in this active waiting is magnificent, and he will strengthen your heart. See the divine dynamic here. You make the decision to wait with courage, and God responds by infusing supernatural strength into your innermost being. He does not necessarily remove the problem immediately, but he strengthens you from within, so that the problem can no longer shake you. He strengthens your heart. This is the center of your emotions, your will, and your intellect. He makes it resilient, firm, and unshakable. Therefore, waiting on the Lord is a process of strengthening. Every day you choose to trust instead of despair, your spiritual rope becomes thicker and stronger. Each time you surrender your anxiety to Him in prayer, You are adding another thread of resilience to your heart. Do not despise the waiting time. It is not a lost time. It is a time of training. It is a time of forging. God is building within you a structure capable of bearing the weight of the victory He has to deliver to you. Ultimately, the greatest victory over injustice, envy, and betrayal is not necessarily seeing the enemy fall before you. Often, God's justice operates in ways we don't even know about. The true and greatest victory is for you to remain standing, with your head held high, not out of pride, but out of trust. It is reaching the other side of the trial with your heart intact. It is being free from the bitterness, hatred, and desire for revenge that your adversaries wanted to plant within you. Whoever attacks you cannot defeat the one who defends you. The true vindication God offers you is your peace. It is your ability to sleep at night. It is your ability to smile sincerely. It is your ability to continue loving and serving, even after being wounded. When the wickedness of others cannot extinguish God's light within you, you have won. When their hearts are full of poison and yours is full of trust, you have won. Your inner peace is the greatest proof of your victory. It is the most powerful testimony of the God whom you serve. May the message of this psalm become the living reality of your soul. May you walk no longer as a target, but as a walking fortress. May you be guarded by the light and salvation of the Lord. May your greatest desire be His presence. And in this presence, may you find all the beauty, wisdom, and security you need. Always remember, waiting is an act of courage. And every day you wait, God is strengthening your heart. You are not alone. He who promised is faithful to fulfill. If this message has strengthened your spirit and brought light to your path, I ask you to seal this truth in your heart. Write with conviction and faith in the comments, "The Lord is my light." By doing this, you are not just typing words, you are making a prophetic declaration over your life. Furthermore, send this prayer as a shield of protection to a friend or family member. You know they are going through a battle. Be a channel of the same strength and hope you receive today. May the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, guard your heart and your mind.